Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this fantastic world. John J here. Please hit subscribe and like because that's how we roll. Yeah, off the wall. Hope you like it. Reminds me of a prison cell, but those that never been wouldn't know, would they? So, what's going on in the world today? The impending pandemic. It's pumped into our house constantly, isn't it? Fear, 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 fear. So, what about the other parts of this wonderful structure of life? The workers, them frontline soldiers, the ambulance people, the doctors, the nurses. The medical people. We're making a mockery out of them. We should be giving them the jab straight away. No, none of this giving it to bloody. No disrespect to the elder generation. We should be giving it to frontline workers. But it just begs a belief that in the third lockdown, it's just third time lucky. Are we ever going to get back to normal? Just poses that question. But then what is normal? Just ponders on it. You think about it. Any case, what about mental health? What about homelessness? What about sexual transmitted diseases? Well, that'll be dropping because people aren't coming together, are they? What about these people that believe this is all a fast and are just talking about getting the jab? There's, and then we talk about America, what's happening with Trump and their supporters. I'm not commending them or celebrating what they do, but I was always under the understanding with politics that sometimes the minority needs to be heard. And we're in the days of complete change. If you remember back in the year 2000, 1999, 2000, that's when everything was going to change. And now we're in 2021. It's like it was 20 years too late or something. Because things have changed beyond recognition now. The embodiment of us humans wanting, eager to hug and touch and to feel the embrace of another human being. Unless you're fortunate enough to have someone at home with you, or less unfortunately if you're at home alone, then there's so much hugging yourself you can do. And I just really wanted to say, if anyone hasn't said it to you today, that you're loved, with a smile. Because really made me consider some stuff. And we talk about so many different slices of the cake, if you like. But isn't it the whole thing? We've the good thing about being in lockdown is beneficial to the planet. Streets are clearer. There's not so much pollution. The air seems clean, cleaner and fresher. There's not as much traffic on the roads. Excuse me, a bit tired. It's what time is it? It's 1 a.m. Yeah. 1 a.m. on Friday, the 8th of January, 2021. I know I haven't done this, but I've just been sort of getting myself ready and preparing myself to start doing this a bit more. And because of Christmas and New Year, I didn't feel that it would be. I thought it'd be pointless to do it because we're all, busy with Christmas and Christ knows what else, watching the telly and being gluttony and eating far too much, and like Michael McIntyre says, "Oh, I couldn't eat another thing. I'll just go to the fridge and make myself a turkey sandwich or boiled bacon sandwich." Just eating and eating and eating and eating. It's just madness. And that sort of throws me to the possibilities of what about those that haven't got food? Because they can't afford, and their pride and their prejudices won't allow them to ask for help. And them children that are going hungry today. We have to remember we are the majority. There's only a minority that is pushing this on us. The only thing that really doesn't sit well with me at the moment is, where's the evidence? Where's the facts? We're told that, 1,000 people have died today. Where are them bodies? Where are they putting them? I mean, if you remember, I think it was the last flu epidemic or the Ebola or something. There was an epidemic where we had loads of bodies and we run out of place to put the bodies. Now we've got bodies or people dying at that 1,000, but there's no talk or no discussion about where we're putting the dead. Now, I know most hospitals can probably hold 400 or 500 people, and then they're full. I know certain undertakers that could probably hold between 20 and 50. There's quite a few of them around. But not all undertakers have the capabilities and the understanding of doing that. So pose the question, where's all this? There's just so many inconsistencies that just don't add up. And the mainstream media just keep pumping us with fear. And where are the facts? Where are, if this went to court and was held accountable, we'd have to have 12 people in a jury that would have to give you the facts, the fors and the against, with 100%, would you, beyond reasonable doubt, say this was a crime? I'm not saying it is. I'm just posing that question out there because 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4, and 4 and 4 is 8. That is the rhythm. That is just what we taught. But when 1 and 1 says 4, and 2 and 2 is 8, and it just doesn't compute with my head. I watch a variety of different news channels, and they all pose a question. Now, I'm not saying there isn't a pandemic. I'm not saying that it's conspiracy theories. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just concerned for the small person or the small people that are being most affected. The rich famous person that's got millions of pounds, and they're okay. But what about those next door to you, across the road from you, the ones that are suffering? They can't go out because they haven't got any money. They've got no food they've got no heating on. They've lost their job. They don't know how to make ends meet. And they're looking for help. Isn't it time that we started looking after our neighbours again? Reach out and knock on the door. Are you okay? Is there anything you can do? Yeah, at distance. Why don't we start that again? Rather than going out and clapping at 8 o'clock on a Thursday night, why don't we start knocking on each other's doors and checking if we're okay, if there's anything we can do, and start sharing and stop all this panic buying that's happening again. There's enough for all if we're all a bit loving and tolerant with each other. So what? I might have to go without a meal, but I'll kindly, gladly do that if it's going to feed someone that hasn't had anything, without a doubt. Would you? I don't know. I think it's quite serious. At first glance of the third lockdown, we were told, 4 weeks. Now I don't know about you, with January. 4 weeks would be February. Now we've gone on to lockdown to 6 weeks. So now we're talking the middle of February. Well, we know February is a short month anyway. So are we into March? There's just so many things that just don't add up. And it's been rattling around in my head, and I don't know. Maybe you could help. Maybe we could have a discussion on it. Would you like to have a discussion? I don't know. Would you like to give me a question? I don't know. We'll have some more questions on mental health and addiction in due course. And I'm going to try and break it down for people for non-addicts, non-alcoholics to try and understand what goes inside the mind of an alcoholic addict, because I think it would be very interesting for those that I know out there that many friends and foe that might watch this knows someone that may be suffering. I got a very good friend, Peter, up in Scotland. He had a meeting with Mrs. Sturgeon today up in Scotland, because Scotland's is gone skyrocket for drug overdoses. And Peter, God bless him, he's been doing. He's an activist. He's been trying to get a place for addicts to use in a safe environment. That might, don't want that around here, but addicts are going to use. Regardless if it's in your doorway, down the back of an alley, with a syringe. Why don't we give them the comfort and the security? If they're going to do it, let's do it in a safe environment. So if they do OD or they've got anyway, the drug that comes from the Far East that's really quite potent, phenantal, whatever it's called. That's 20, 30 times more stronger than heroin, and people are putting it in their drugs and they're ODing. It basically it's so strong. And you point, and a point of a gram, and it knocks you out. So, bless Peter. God bless you for all the work you do and the activism you do. In Scotland, and I hope it gathers some pace that you can be of service to those up there and carry on doing what you're doing. He's worked closely with drug agencies and police officers, and he's not saying that he's decriminalising it. He's just saying that let's get on top of this. Let's deal with sick individuals that are suffering from addiction as sick individuals, rather than it's a moral fibre choice. It's a it's a law thing, because you're not gonna. I mean, a tangent if you like. When someone who's mentally ill is drinking and using drugs and attacking policemen, what they do is they take them to the police station, they strip them, they put them in a suicide suit, and then two police officers that arrest them sit at the side of the police cell watching them for 24 hours or 12 hours of their shift. There's two officers that should be on the street that are sitting there looking after a mental health patient. Where does that mental health patient deserve to be? Oh, in a mental hospital. Oh no, we haven't got the funding because they shut down the mental hospitals for care in the community. So it's at our doorstep, but we don't want it because no one wants it. And do we imprison them mental health? Yeah, we do. We're supposed to be the fourth richest continent in the world, country in the world, and we're dealing with so many underlying issues that just have never been challenged or worked through as a problem. We see it as a problem, and we don't look at it for a solution. We try and find another problem. And ask yourself this simple question: is mental illness a health issue, or is it a law issue? And if you're saying, well, of course it's a health issue, why is drug addiction any different? Why is alcoholism any different? Oh, because it's about choice. I hear that, and a lot of people say because people have a choice. Well, you did at the beginning, like most things, but then you become addicted, then your choice is gone. So if your choice is gone, and you have it's not even proven scientifically when addicts and alcoholics use, the front of their central cortex shuts down. It's a decision making for the rational and well, that's bad. Don't do that. It might kill you. Shuts down. So we're talking about addiction from a different point. You've lost the choice factor, and your central cortex is shut down. So is that not a mental health issue? So why are we criminalising people? Because it's against the law. That law was written in 1972. Ask yourself this question: how much has things changed since 72, 82, 92, 2002? Yeah? 40 odd years. Look what's happened in 40 years. And we haven't reviewed that law. It's draconian. We live by so many laws that haven't been upgraded. Think about it. 1972, where computers? No. The closest thing you got to a mobile phone was the phone in the hallway with a wire to it. And everyone's got a mobile phone. Look how much cars have changed in the 70s. Crazy, isn't it? Yet we don't review our laws. We just keep battering the same old drenic bullshit crap, thinking the things are going to change when we don't invest in it and we don't invest in people. We need to start investing into people. In the walk of life that I've been in, I know countless drug addicts who have recovered from hopeless evil state of mind. And I guarantee you, they will be able to spot an addict on scoring, dealing, and the police don't use them because of their criminal conviction. And that's another thing, Someone goes to prison. They lose their liberty. They lose their freedom. That's the punishment for going to prison. So you pay your dues, you go to prison, you're locked away from society, you come out and you still have to pay for your areas of your ways, even though you've spent time in prison and away from your family, because that's what society wants you to do, and that's what judge says you want it to do. So you've paid your debt to society that you wronged for whatever reason. You come out of jail, and then you try and get back on your feet, and you try and do a job. You try and get back on your feet, and you're labelled a convict, untrustworthy. So you don't get a job. So what is there left for someone like that to? Well, it's just commit more crime, because you've labelled the society that he wants to get back or she wants to get back into, saying, no, you're a criminal, you can't be trusted, so go back and do what you've done. And then we say, why do we have such a high rate of people committing crime? Because the society we live in predicts that. Society that we live in makes that happen, because we do not take responsibility. Yes, I've been burgled. And it's not a nice experience. Did they catch the person who did it? Probably not. Is it a crime that's been left unsolved? Without a doubt. It happens all the time. Where is our police force today? Where are they accountable today? There's less of them now than there was 20 years ago, but there's more crime on the streets. But they're too busy dealing with petty criminals and drug offences and drunk and disorderly and mental health issues. And, not forgetting the COVID rules. Let's go out and impose some fines when they know that people haven't got any money because we haven't been able to work. Let's impose some more corona, it's just craziness. Let's put some handcuffs on people because they have nothing else. Oh, you're out on the street. Why are you out on the street? I feel safer going out on the street from this time in the morning because I know I'm not going to see anyone. And what does this coronavirus spread by? Oh, people. So if you're out on the street at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, minding your own business and doing your exercise then because you feel safer, the police stop you along and go, oh, what are you doing around there? What? Oh, because I'm out at night, I've got, and that builds into like the curfew malarkey with the ankle bracelets. You can't go out between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. So I can't go out and do burglary or robbery during the daylight times. I have to do it at night time. Where does that thought process come from? Because, when everyone's at work and doing their daily thing, you've just stopped a man on a curfew from going, or a woman going out at night from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. So from 6 o'clock till 6 o'clock, 12 hours, you're on an evening curfew, so you can't go out the door. So 6:05 in the morning, you can go out after your curfew with that bracelet on your leg, and you can go out and commit crime. And still be in the house at 6 p.m. after committing loads of crimes all day, and the police don't think that happens. Or the probation service doesn't know that happens. It's lunacy. I'm just speaking out because these are certain worries that go through my mind, and we not necessarily need a revolution. We just need to start taking stock of what we've learned. It's Isn't it mad that we carry on doing the same thing, making the same mistakes, doing the same thing, making the same mistakes? Is that not a form of insanity? And remember, our local MPs are there to serve the people, to take our views to the government, to speak for us. We elect them to support us, to listen to us, the small people. But frankly, that's not being heard. All these MPs are there to feather themselves. There are quite a few members of parliament that actually do what they're meant to do, but there's far more that don't. Poor old Boris, he's damned if he's doing, he's damned if he's not. He left it too late. If he'd have left it late enough, he wouldn't have the evidence, but yet we're going to batter him for it. And my question to you is, could you do a better job? And here's what I'm going to finish with. If the electee of Parliament goes to Houses of Parliament and our Conservative whips and members of Parliament, our MPs are all in that lobby, and they're there to support us, the people, why is it they had a 5% increase on their wages when everyone else is skint? Because they're having to work for their money for once? Do the people in Parliament really have a grasp of real life on the streets? Do they really know how hard it is out here? Because I think they're full flight from reality. They haven't got a clue. They get driven everywhere. They get, drinks bought for them, food given to them, second houses, just feathering their own nests for later on. So far removed from the general public that they're supposed to be supporting. And there has to be a shift. There has to be something changing. And maybe that time's come. Do they care about the environment? Do they? They say the words, but do they do any action? So maybe it's about us to at this time to start evaluating, see if we can get the facts. Because, what I'm just saying, MPs, you've got our Conservative leaders, you've got the opposed, yeah? They're the electees, yeah? So why are we being governed by scientists? Because the government are listening to what the scientists are saying before they make a decision. So at the moment, we have scientists ruling the country because of a pandemic. Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, I hope I haven't worried you. Thank you for watching. And any suggestions we can talk about? We can have a Q&A if you like. Any ideas you'd like to have a discussion with? Feel free to tap it in. Let me know. I am also on Instagram. So come and find me there. Link up. Do the old like, the thumb up, and subscribe. See where we go. God bless you and sleep well. Laters, taters.